our year of extremes. Did climate change just hit home?
To hit home refers to some type of event or some type of knowledge that affects someone deeply. The idea of home being their personal self. So oftentimes it's something that relates to the way that they may deal with the world. For example, if somebody likes to drink and then they get arrested, thrown in jail, or if they get into an accident because they've been drinking, they say, well, it really hit home. And then oftentimes that may cause them to stop drinking right there. And apparently that's what happened with George Bush. He just got drunk one time, and then after that he said, no more. I'm done. And then apparently he hasn't had a drink since. Or similarly, you could say watch some movie about maybe people starving somewhere or some natural disaster where people are deeply affected emotionally and they end up feeling that, you know, they should do something about it or they should think differently than they did before. I got this new job offer and I took the job to go to New York. I thought I was, going to end up a lot better off with a lot more money. But then I had to pay $3,000 a month for an apartment, and then the city of New York was taking like 10% of my pay just for city taxes, which I'd never even heard of before. So finally it hit home that I would have been better off just staying in Chicago. This friend of mine, David, he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And he was always just kind of this, I don't know how you want to put it, kind of a wild, crazy guy or very kind of selfish. And then finally it hit home that he didn't have long to live. So all of a sudden he became like a much better person just because he wanted to use the time that he had left in a better way than he had before.
Guys, you guys got to teach me how to potty train this fool ASAP.
ASAP is usually termed as ASAP, and it means as soon as possible. So it's very common to use in emails, text messages, but people can also just say it. They can say ASAP, and it just means as soon as possible. Get to it as soon as you can. My apartment got broken into a couple years ago, and then I called up the police to report the burglary, and they said they would get somebody there ASAP. So I hung around. I thought they'd show up in maybe half an hour later. They ended up showing up 2 days later. So for them, ASAP was not the same as my ASAP. Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, my boss called me. I had a hangover, but he told me to get to the office ASAP. So I had to jump up and take a shower and run down to the office and get there. And by the time I got there, he wasn't even there. So I felt kind of foolish.
That's all for today. Tom Taylor is an ESL tutor. He teaches English in the United States and outside, all over the world using Skype. He can be reached at his website, which is
ESL-fullsteamahead.com.
Click on this link and check out his website and email with questions. Thank you, Tom, and I'll talk to you next time.
Thank you.